We have returned with our players, Harlan, Sam, Simon and Infernal, and me, of course, your DM, Chris. Now, for those who just want a quick run through of what's going on, I'll do an overview after I've done a few small announcements. Just for the people who have put in quite a bit of work into this, my artist, Zenosa, she does a lot of the art for these tiles over here, which my players can't see, but only I can. All of these individual tiles, every single row that you have, each one is made by her. She is on, I want to say, DeviantArt, and I can't remember whether she has her own page or not. But she does art, she does commissions, fair price from what I've found, and you can also check out Fluff Knight, who is a... let's just say that they work together, and he does like cosplay things, and I'm opting to share that because he's just started up his business, and they could do with a lot of good commissions. The audio for the sound effects and things like that come from tabletopaudio.com. They are a great website. They do everything for free, and it is free domain. The only thing that they say is that if you are making money off of it, then send them a little bit of love, which is fine, because I already do, because they're an amazing site. So, no further ado, let's get into this. So, our players, Harlan, Sam, Simon and Infernal, each running their own individual characters. Elsyan, run by Sam, Queglod, run by Simon, Sasha, run by Harlan, and Bhold, run by Infernal. Each their own characters have had a short adventure while in the town of Adamantha. Previously, they had made their way into town, and they had completed what could only be said as a job from a governor, to taking some documents or items of importance to a High Chancellor. And after they completed said job, something occurred, something which has caused them to forget their memories for 2 weeks or so. During the 2 weeks, they can't really see or understand what's happened, but something did. After that, they found themselves standing in the street, a building burning before them. After a short encounter with a fire elemental quickly dispatching of it, the party was taken to the local tavern and told to rest here, and they'll take them for questions in the morning. After a little bit of investigation, finding themselves in the fighting pits of the underbelly of the tavern, Bhold won his first match against a tiefling monk known as Cannibal. She fought fiercely, but made some vital slip-ups, underestimating the wisdom of Bhold, where he made every opportunity he could of each attack and each blow she tried to put forward. After a night's rest and a warm, hearty breakfast, they were gathered up by some of the guards, personal guards, to the High Marshal of the city. And after being escorted to the High Marshal's quarters, through into the fort, they met the High Marshal himself, the Grand Vizier and second to the Emperor. They spoke to him, given an offer to work for him and to try and find whoever caused these fires. He gave them a few tip-offs, heading towards some individuals. One, a shadowed figure who would eventually find them, and another, Cassie, his own personal blacksmith. After a brief explanation of these things and some details which he wished to discuss, he gave them this offer, telling them that otherwise he would have to hand them over to the High Templar, and he couldn't guarantee their safety, as he believed that they were not the ones who caused it. After this amount of time, they investigated Cassie, being escorted by their dragonborn companion. They were led to Cassie and spoke with her, finding what details they could, finding out that a portion of black powder had been bought, a hefty amount of black powder had been bought off the market. After doing some vague discussings, fantasies, and being smashed in the face by a hammer at least once, the party made their way down the down one of the streets away from the marketplace and the crowds. They found themselves in the company of some assassins, Morbin assassins. They attacked the party, putting them to the test, but the party did not falter. Fighting as well as it could, it fended off the assassins well, defeating 4 of them, unfortunately with one of them escaping, and that one fleeing down into the sewer system before running away. Unfortunately, where Sasha, the dwarven cleric, fell and injured herself. Falling unconscious, the party panicked. There was a dropping of a healing potion, and some other panics as they thought that they might need to try and administer some form of medicine. However, through her own sense of strong iron will, Sasha picked herself back up, stood up and carried on, healing herself with what magic she could, and taking a short rest. After a little bit of tossing and turning and a little bit of a squabble between the party, some individuals got themselves covered in sewage. Making their way out of the sewers, they encountered some guards who challenged them on what they were doing, but previously advised by their Dragonborn companion, they made their way. They were told to head back to the tavern where they were staying. Doing so, without much fuss, they headed back to the tavern, cleaning themselves off what best they could, and that is where our party begins. So, you're all currently in the tavern, currently in your own rooms, things like that, and it's fairly quiet in the tavern, from what you can tell. There's not really that much going on, but there are a few people about below. Nothing too major. Sasha, you've currently had yourself a bath, and you're currently cleaning off in your room. Elsyan, you've cleaned off your sleeve as best you can, getting the stench out of it. Bhold, not phased by the smell, giving himself a quick wash over for other people's sake, is currently sat downstairs in the main portion of the tavern with Queglod at a table. They've pulled down some chairs and sat down at the table. It is currently roughly 2 PM in the afternoon, and if either of you two want to have a conversation before Elsyan get in, or did you want Elsyan to arrive?
We can just have Elsyan arrive.
Okay. So Elsyan, you walk after cleaning yourself up, unless there's anything you wanted to do, you walk to the end of the hallway and you look downwards and you see, and you currently see Queglod and Bhold currently just sat at a table, waiting.
I'm going to join them.
Okay.
Elsyan, there you are.
Yeah, just that damn dwarf. Got this.
I like to imagine that Sasha
Shit
somehow
on me.
senses this.
Filthy. Filthy.
Yeah.
Feel like he's always laughing at me. Damn dwarf. Yeah. Anyway.
So, you've managed to clean up, I assume.
As best I could. Just that damn dwarf. Gonna have words with him when he comes down.
Yeah. Can I come down now, or
Yeah. So you've sufficiently cleaned yourself off.
I'm in my spare clothes?
So your casual clothes, or have you cleaned up your chainmail, and you're currently
The
wearing that?
chainmail was the focus. I've got other clothes. I don't have other armor.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying that in character voice, but you get the idea.
Yeah. So you're wearing currently casual clothes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, just with armor on top of it. It's mildly uncomfortable, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that was lovely and all, but can we take it slow from now on?
I suppose so. Remember, we are on a time limit here.
Yes, he gave us like a week. And I mean, we've already found a lead. We know that they're using the sewers to move about. Surely if we give that to the, what is that, not the Templar, the Marshal, he could tell us he could send people down there or give us some clue as to where they might be.
True, it is a lead to investigate. Still, we're
Uh,
expecting to
Chris.
meet the Marshal's other contact here.
What were you saying?
True.
Harlan?
Chris, could I roll a hit die for
Oh yeah. What do you need?
D8?
D.
5 altogether.
2 plus Constitution, so it should be 5.
Yep.
Yeah, so you've all taken a short rest, so anything that regenerates from a short rest, that's also regenerated. It is currently 2 o'clock, so you've got plenty of time before the day goes out. And anyone who's interested, roll me a perception check. I'm going to say mainly Queglod and Bhold for this.
Yeah, what are we looking around for?
This is just, you're looking for
14.
any details on...
Wow.
Okay. So, yeah,
Well,
you know this. You see that behind the counter of the bar, you see on the wall that would usually be hidden behind some bottles. You see hidden behind bottles rather, empty clear bottles. You can see behind it that it says that the pit fights start at around about 6 p.m. but admissions into the pit are allowed after 5:30. So you've got the better part of the day before you get before it opens.
I suppose we'll have to find something to do for the afternoon.
I vote for napping.
Yeah, dirty dwarf. Bastard.
I need cheerier music.
Hey, Elsyan. Did Farnsworth help you clear up?
You are just asking for it, aren't you, Smashfist?
Little bit, if I'm honest.
I will not lower myself to your mutt-like levels.
I love you too, Elsyan.
Well, you can fuck right off.
Well, if you insist, Sasha thrusts away. No, that doesn't happen. That does not happen. Sasha does not thrust off into the distance.
I'm just visualizing it as an animation glitch, and it's just like hovering and floating off into the sunset. Oh dear. So, what would you like to do?
Right.
Have we eaten yet?
I'm going to say when you came in, you had a little bite to eat.
Okay. Well then. What plans do you all have for this afternoon then?
I mean, I'll be honest here. I was probably going to say I couldn't get Bhold back down into the pit fights, and you know, once that happens, and you know, bet on him again. Because, I mean, look at him, like a wall of muscle, like a brick glistening wall.
Well,
Sorry, what was I talking about?
well, if you want, Behold, but the pits won't open until later on.
Have you got any broken stuff with you?
Any broken stuff?
I mean, there's not really masses I can really do to while away the hours, but I can mend things.
How about your personality?
Tried that, didn't it? Didn't go too good. It was a bad move.
I travel rather light, so I've nothing. Anything that breaks, I tend to throw away.
Right.
Still,
How's about
count off.
how's about we could go shopping?
Yeah, let's go shopping.
I don't see why not.
Very well then.
I just want to go shopping.
Okay.
Chris, are there
If you're
shops?
all ready, I suppose we can head off now then.
Yeah. I mean, I've cleaned off my armor. I've changed clothes, and I've had so many baths you don't even know. I think it was about 3 full baths.
Okay. So where did you? So you were gonna go shopping, right?
Yes.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where did you want to go? Like, where did you generally want to go for shopping?
Well, I'm looking for herbs and alchemical supply.
Okay. I meant like districts in the city, that sort of thing.
Wherever I could find those.
You'll have to give me a roll. That.
Bugger.
And that will be a...
Perception,
Let's say
I guess. Road sign?
investigation, because it would be trying to find something.
You sure you can't turn that into perception?
Nope.
Oh no.
I've made my mind.
I have good geographical
Okay, it's a
knowledge.
14.
No.
It is a 14. I'm not awful. Ooh. Oh, bye Infernal.
By Infernal, he died. I
Oh.
think he...
I don't know what's happening.
Did you forget to put your
My God.
charger in?
Is anyone else seeing a load of us with very similar, like, scores going on here? The ping wars, the ping pong.
Not really.
No.
I'm seeing at least one of Chris, Simon, or Sam having the same numbers every.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can happen.
No, but it's like it's every time. 50, 79.
I'm seeing it every
Yay,
now and then.
50.
Yeah, no, I am
It
56.
seeing
happens
that.
occasionally, but it's not.
For me,
Hey, for me,
everyone
it's
has
like
150
Constantly.
people.
You've
It's
disconnected,
hilarious.
Infernal.
I'm actually kind of impressed about what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, Infernal, you've disconnected. Anyway, back on track. So,
Yes, back on.
you, so with your investigation, you know generally, you know in the general area that there is, that there's the bazaar where you can generally buy anything,
Mm-hmm.
or the marketplace, and you walked through there, you walked through there to get to the blacksmithing district,
Mm-hmm.
which is the general area where you saw Cassie and a few other blacksmiths working away.
Mm-hmm.
There is also, from what you know, there's a general goods district, which also includes alchemical ingredients and is generally the first storing site where all the warehouses are, which store all the things like out with ingredients, raw materials, things like that, wood, iron ore, so on, along with alchemical ingredients for potions. And you don't know where any wizards stores might be, or where any wizards type things might be in the district, like magical things, magical shops.
Right, well, Queglod, you seem like you're a warlock, right?
Indeed.
Is there any magical or alchemical ingredients you would be interested in? I fancy some company while I'm, going about shopping. I don't know. It's always fun to shop with other people. I haven't been around people in a while.
Yes, that's fair. Yes, I could take a look around. I'm sure I'll find something.
Lovely.
Right.
And Elsyan, anything you want?
What was that?
You want to do anything? Are you joining us or what?
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm actually really tired. Yes, I'll join you, I suppose.
Right.
Not like I've got anything better to do.
Okay. So you will proceed to make your way out onto the streets. There seems to be a fair few people moving around at the moment. It's not anything major from what you can tell. It's just a good amount of people moving along the streets. Individuals carrying baskets, crates, that sort of thing. As you leave the tavern, you can still see that the entire row of houses in the street, which led up to the High Chancellor's Road, is still cornered off by guards, and these guards seem to have rotated out. You don't recognise any of them. Some of them seem to be wearing more official armour. They're currently investigating the site by the looks of it. And you make your way to the marketplace. Is it you wanted to go first? Or did you want to head to anywhere in particular? Whoever's leading.
I'm sort of
I
ambling
assume-
along with. I'm sort of ambling.
So who's got the general heading of the party then? Is that...
I mean, I know where I'm heading. I'm heading.
Yeah, I
for-
would assume it would be the
Yeah,
Sasha.
I'm
who
heading for
following.
chemical supplies. Starting off at the bazaar to sort of get a general, and if there's anywhere more specialized
Okay.
there.
You head to the bazaar. You make your way down a few roads, across some streets. You eventually find your way after about 20 minutes or so. You find your way to the general location of the marketplace. At this point, the crowd has picked up. There's a fair few more people currently here in the marketplace or bazaar, and you see down each of the roads in your general direction. You see straight ahead of you, where there's the marketplace. You've got a left and a right turn off. The right one seems to lead down towards what looks like another busy square. The left one, as you know, leads towards is another route that leads towards the blacksmithing district and where a lot of the forges are. And you can see a few plumes of smoke and things like that rising up into the sky. Not too much, but enough to be noticed.
Like the breaths of angels. You all know why I'm doing that. Anyway, so Queglod. Obviously I'm a cleric. You're a warlock. There, we both have a compact with a greater power, as it were.
I suppose that is true.
Tell me about it. I frankly, I'm a cleric more by. I worship Aleuir, but we've got a bit. Yeah, I'm not one of those paladin-y ones that are all like, "Thou shalt burn in the gates of hell." No, Aleuir's about good fortune and luck, and generally just destiny or fate in its own way. So I want to learn things about other people.
It's very well. What would you like to know especially?
Well, I know that there are those that have connections to the Feywild. I know there are those that have connections to demonic powers. What's your poison word?
My pact, do you mean?
Yes.
Is with the Raven Queen, as you can no
Oh.
doubt tell from my companion.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to assume. Could have been one of the. Yes. Could have been one of them. The animal gods in general. I don't know. So.
That is fair. No, I've been a loyal servant of the Raven Queen most of my life, as it happens. But
Lovely.
the Eldritch Pact is a relatively new development.
Hmm. Right. Well, I follow a ladra. I'm a devout follower of Aladra, as frankly, she had to have had a hand in keeping me alive. Otherwise, well, I wouldn't be here, frankly. Goddess of good fortune, and well, I was there. I'll tell you about my life. I've been a hermit for the last 20-odd year,
As you
potentially.
mentioned.
Yes, after my family were murdered by a dragon, killed our entire town and our brewery. So there's no more Smashfist brewery. Pretty sad, actually. I don't know why I started talking about it. Working for the Raven Queen must be fun.
It has its benefits.
Question, how do you feel about looting corpses?
It is an unsightly business, but it is of no interest to the Raven Queen.
Lovely.
So long as the spirits of the dead reside with her, she
So
has
long-
no
so
interest
long
in
as
what
you-
happens with the bodies.
So long as you treat them with respect once they're dead.
Yes, no, my stance is on the more martial aspects of death are entirely personal.
Right. So I can do this whole thaumaturgy thing.
You mentioned.
You got it. I don't know. Have you got anything like that in with your warlocking? Since they are rather similar, we have rather similar powers in and of their sources.
They are of similar origin, but I believe the abilities the Raven Queen grants me are more combat focused.
Ah, yes.
So that is
I
why
saw
took
with the
the
whole.
pact.
I saw with the whole. Bolt smashing into that that archer. That was being a right pain in my arse. That I'm pretty sure that happened last time. I'm gonna say that happened last time.
Yeah,
Fairly sure it did.
Yeah.
sure, yeah, that was what we were doing.
Anyway, let's have a look around.
Yes. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Herbs and alchemical
yes.
supplies. Yes, I'm looking to restock myself on my herbs and stuff. And beyond that, I'm planning to begin work brewing up a few new concoctions for the Smashfist brewery, or what's left of it, me, and see if I can't use that to eventually take the alcoholic world by storm.
So you're planning to rebuild?
I have. I've got two goals in life: kill that dragon, bring back the Smashers Brewery. As long as I get one done, or I die trying to do one of them, I'm happy. That's what I have to do.
I see. That sounds fair. But how do you plan to take down a dragon?
I'll be honest. My plan basically consists of find dragon, and that's about it at this point. It's a bit of an ongoing thing. 20 years to think about it, but really it's a dragon.
Yes. Was this a full-grown dragon?
I wouldn't say it wasn't like an elder dragon, but it wasn't a whelpling either. I'd say it was a young dragon. They tend to be a lot
So-
more active than their elder counterpart.
Yes, well, I suppose taking down a young dragon is doable, though not by yourself.
No. But frankly, that might be why we're here together. Honestly, we're missing 2 weeks. We don't really know what happened there.
That is true. This is quite concerning as well.
Aye. We really should be, like, thinking more about that. Because, like, a little bit disturbing.
Bhold and Elsyan,
yeah.
are you doing anything at this current moment?
I think I'm just listening to this conversation play out, just laughing at Smashfist whenever I get the chance.
Behold, you doing anything?
Nah, not
Okay.
really.
Right, I would like to buy some alchemical supplies, Chris.
Alright, give me an investigation check.
Uh,
You can both do it if you're also
yeah,
going to
can I
help.
have one as
Simon.
well, yeah.
Yep, you can as well. 16
Yay.
and 3. You've got more of a nose for it, as you know what you're looking for. Simon points out a few bits and pieces. They seem to be more spices than herbs for what you're looking for. Were you looking for more medical herbs, or were you looking for more foodie herbs?
I'm kind
Or
of going
both.
for a mix here.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason not to multitask.
As you're looking through the marketplace, you see a few stalls that are selling the odd spice, the odd herb, but the herbs don't seem to be in great condition. They seem to be rather wilted. They aren't dried. They aren't fresh. They're kind of just old, and none of them seem to be worth it. You see a few bulbs. You see a few ground pieces, and as good as they might be, they aren't too useful for what you're looking for. And as you're going along, you see off to the side, you see an individual with a very large backpack, a human. His backpack reaches quite high up. He's got a bedroll on the top, and he's got what looks to be like pouches hanging off by threads off of the side of the backpack. He has a rather large sack currently holding onto his belt. He wears fairly common clothes, kind of similar to yours if you weren't wearing your chainmail. And he's currently standing there, and he's currently talking to an individual. And the individual puts out his hand as if expecting something. And the individual rummages through the sack at his side and pulls out what you recognise as things like thyme and sage, some more foodie herbs. But you can also see that from what you can see on there, you can see that there are some more medical herbs as well. The pouches which seem to be hanging, you conclude they're for drying herbs. He's keeping the dried herbs in a hanged aerated bag so that they can dry, so that they can lose their moisture, and they're free to do so. And you assume whatever he's got in that backpack, might have some useful things for you.
Right. Well, I'm gonna approach him.
Okay.
Also, before that, okay, Simon, I'm picturing the Happy Mask salesman.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Hold on. Happy Mask Salesman. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
That's basically him. That is basically him. Okay.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that is basically him. For those who don't know, just look up Happy Mask Salesman, and that's basically what you've got. He's got the squinty
Christ.
eyes and everything.
Oh no. What have I done?
It's true though. It's the perfect image. Anyway, so you walk up to this individual. He's currently just standing there at the side of the road. He pulls up his backpack a bit more, and sees you coming in.
Hello there.
Hello.
I noticed you were selling herbs and similar items.
Yes. What sorts of things are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for some medicinal herbs, preferably towards the more bolstering or healing side of things. But beyond that, I'm looking for a few of the more alcoholic based herbs. You know, a bit of nettles for nettle wine, some of the fruitier herbs with a bit of mint in there is definitely going to be something I try and go for. Some anisey, anything really. I'm experimenting at this point.
Yes. Let's see. You're after medical herbs, you said, and also some ones for brewings.
Yes.
Okay. Nettles, we do have some of those. We have nettles, we have mints, if that helps at all. Were there any other specific ones other than that you were after again? Sorry.
Well, as I said, I'm experimenting, so I'm not entirely... I'm not exactly set on anything.
Okay.
Well, I'd also go for anything that would be generally used in tincture. Most teas I can use to infuse flavor into them. Yes, I am very, very quickly trying to look for like fucking the names of herbs or plants or whatever.
That's fine. I have a short list of some here that can be used for medical purposes. I'll let you handle the beers and stuff.
Right.
Well, I have a few things here. From the local forest, you can collect them as well. Did you want dried or fresh, by the way?
Mainly dried. I'm going to be traveling a bit.
Right,
But,
okay. That will bump up the price a bit, you understand, but they're very useful all the same. I have, in my dried collection, I have some feverfew, lavender, have a
Lavender's good.
little bit of dried thyme and rosemary.
Rosemary, yes. Thyme, I'm uncertain about, but well, if I can get if we can do some sort of deal, I'd probably take it along with the other things.
Yes. If you're after a few more of the fresher ones, we have things like lemon balm. They're quite useful in a tea. They might make a interesting beer flavour. I don't know. I got parsleys and peppermints and all kinds of mints.
Have you anything I could use to make spirit of wood? Any woods I could use to be destructively distilled?
Woods, I'm afraid not, no. I've got woody plants, like thyme, but other than that, not really.
Anything with bark I can work with.
Thyme and rosemary have a woody twig texture to their main body part, but other than that, I don't have any barks, I'm afraid, no.
Oh no, that's fine to work. I can find somewhere else for that much. Is there any? Have you any any gums? You know, tree gums.
Not tree gums, no.
Right. They'll probably be in the same places as woods used in herbology. So really, not an issue on that front.
I have some more harder to collect things like ginger, if you would like any of those.
Ginger definitely works. Any petaled flowers might have interesting properties. Rose,
Marigold?
Poppy, marigold, to a degree, marigold. That's more for could be worked more in the medicine. Dandelion, if you have any.
I haven't seen any recently. It doesn't seem that they're blooming too well this year. But you could double up on any one of these if you're interested.
No, I'll take a wide spread for the moment. How much would a wide spread of all the ones I've mentioned so far come to?
So you were after feverfew, ginger. Did you want thyme? No, you didn't want thyme.
Yeah, no, I will take the time.
You'll take the time,
but a smaller amount of.
Okay. Rosemary.
Yes.
Did you want petal things like marigold or?
Marigold, yeah.
I do have a few rose petals, but they're not in the best condition, so obviously I'll discount that, but...
I will... half measure of each.
Half measure of each, okay. With the factor that some of these are dried, some of them would be fresh, 10 gold pieces for the lot?
You've got a deal.
Ah, excellent. So add feverfew, ginger, thyme, rosemary, and rose petals. Unless there was anything else.
Can I just put herbs?
You can put herbs, yeah. I've got the list here, so don't worry.
Nice, because like I can't even remember remember how to spell few.
It's fever, then few.
Oh.
So yes, 10 gold pieces, please.
Right.
And
So
he wraps them up in individual like leaf packages and then ties them together with like what looks to be some form of like string made from what you would recognize as the stem of nettles. Like it's weaved and woven, and he just ties a cute bow around these leaves, currently holding it together. There you are, sir.
thank you very much. And don't call me sir.
Oh,
No worry.
Apologies, madam.
And also don't call me that. Bye.
Oh,
I'm a dwarf. For God's sake.
well, have a
I'm
nice
just gonna
day.
walk off now. I've walked off. I've already walked off.
Okay. Alright, so you walk back to the party. Is anybody else doing anything during this time? Do they want to buy anything, browse, anything like that?
I'll be taking a look around, but unless there's anything particularly rare and interesting, I'm not looking for anything in particular.
Okay. Give me an investigation check for
Sure.
rare objects. Okay. You're looking around to see if you can find any rare things. So you weren't looking for anything in particular, but just
No,
rare.
I was just looking around to see if stuff was, rare, probably magical items.
Okay.
I'm not expecting much luck, but
Yeah, there isn't anything that you can see in this general area. You see a few gems, gemstones that are quite pricey. Things like a relatively large sized, well-cut piece of bloodstone. There's the occasional piece of amethyst and topaz, some other things, aquamarine, well-cut gemstones, things like that. They're quite nice. They're about 50 to 100 gold pieces. You don't really see them too often, especially on a market floor like this. But there's nothing you'd really want. You get the general sense that anything of that sort of level would be more inside a house building for safekeeping.
fair. Well, perhaps if we have time, I might look around somewhere like that. We'll see.
Is anybody else looking around for anything?
I mean, I've got more stuff to look for, but
And Elsyan is just browsing.
Okay.
Again, not looking for anything.
Anything that would catch your interest? Or just browsing for the sake of browsing?
Just browsing for the sake of browsing.
Okay. Behold, you doing anything? Are you looking for anything special, or...?
Not really here.
Okay. So, you're all, you've all done your basic looking around, browsing a few things. You can't find anything of interest. You guys all gather together after Sasha finishes up her first transaction. Were you going on to the anything else?
Well, I'm looking for a stall for sugarcane and other sugar items. I can use that to create a high intensity alcohol, and then I'm going to be. And I'm also looking for various woods and things that you can use to flavor alcohol.
Okay.
Sort of an infusion of the bark, like willow or.
Yeah. You noticed a few pre-ground spices and stuff on a previous stall, which might contain things, but otherwise you can continue looking if you wish.
I'll have a little look. I'll have a look over there, like get a decent check of it. But you know,
Okay.
if there's nothing of interest there, I'm mainly looking for anything seed-based, cinnamon, probably anything that would be warming, like cloves or.
Okay. From
You know,
what you can,
pumpkin spice.
what you can see from things like this, you see what looks to be some. The most of the things are ground here. There are some whole things. There are some seeds in place. There are things like pumpkin seeds and the occasional nuts and things like that. Some basic seeds. Most of the seeds that are here are, from what you can tell, for planting, for like farmers' use rather than use in making things like beers and other drinks. You also see you also can see things such as ground up pine cone and pine bark, You also see a few strips of it as well. You see that they seem to be in they're in place, but they don't seem to be bought that much. But a few people have bought it. It's kind of like when you go to an ice cream stop, that ice cream place. There's always that one ice cream that doesn't get bought, but then once you try it, it's amazing. It's like that. So it's not selling very well, but it's in place there. Currently set at 1 gold piece per pound. So you could get a fair bit out of that.
Yeah.
You also see some other spices, things like turmeric, ground yarrow seeds, and other what looks to be dried leaves and spices, other things like that are just in place. You see small jars of honey as well. You see some honey with a special label, which is labeled spiced honey, which catches your attention. It's a very unusual
unusual
thing
attention.
and peculiar thing to notice at this sort of thing. The honey, yes, you could use that in a more sweeter in a sweeter beverage, but spiced honey you've never tried before. It's something that seems to be a little bit more southern from where you've come in the Empire.
A taste of the Empire. Oh, that'll be our tagline. Right. Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to buy, well, quite a few spices and things.
Good to hear.
Right.
After
This
anything
spice
in
cut-
particular?
Quite a few things. I'm looking for clove, if you've any.
Clove.
The dried bud things.
Oh, yes. Give me just a second. And he turns around and he pats someone who's on the opposite side of his central stall market. And he taps him on the shoulder. And the individual turns around and and he starts whispering in the individual's ear. Saying something. You can't pick it up just due to the general crowd and atmosphere that you're in. It's very packed. You can't really hear too much from what they're saying. He turns back and goes, I have a little bit, not too much.
Well, that can be on the back burner. Then we'll see how much it comes to. See if I can afford the price.
Understood.
Yes. All right. Clove, allspice, if you've any.
Yes, we have some of that. He points to what looks like a fairly empty box, but you could scrape out a bit or tip it.
I'm interested in the barks you have available here, and the infusions of ground bark.
The pine bark? Or the
Yes.
or the cedar?
Both.
Both. Ah, good. They haven't been selling too well recently.
Not many can make much good use of them.
Indeed. They're using a few medical things, but
Yeah.
we just sell what we get.
It's worth having them on hand, but you hardly ever get to get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
On the plus side, they're a bark. Takes a while for them to go off.
Yeah, exactly. Also takes for a while them to harvest, so they have to last a while.
True. Where was I? Cinnamon, if you have any.
Yes, we do have some of that. He points to another one, which is moderately full. There seems to be quite a bit.
Nice. I am interested in the honey and the spiced honey. Can you tell me a little about it?
The honey, that's, as you know, honey isn't always the easiest thing to come from, or isn't always the easiest thing to get, depending on where you come from in the Empire, but for the most part, we've managed to procure a fairly reliable source. From what I gather, the honey comes from a little ways to the southeastern areas of the Empire, a little bit more along the along near the larger forests at the base of the mountain line, where you've got things like pines and stuff growing, which is also where the bark comes from as well. It's said
Would
that...
you say?
Go on.
Well, what do you happen to know? What flowers would most likely be making this honey? The bees would be taking their thing from.
I'd say from the area that it's in, the only thing I could probably tell you would be things such as clovers, maybe more of the hardwood things as well. They've had a little bit of an acidic taste to them as well, so probably something poisonous that lives in the area as well.
Might be helpful, actually. Right. Then... Yes, and the spices, the spiced honey, any particular in there, or is that a secret?
The spiced honey is shipped as it is. I'm not entirely sure what the spice is. I've had quite a few people say that it is very nice. It is a little bit on the expensive side. But from what I can tell, it seems to have some form of... I don't know, it's strange. It's kind of like cinnamon, but it's a bit darker and rough.
Right. Well, I will definitely take some of the spiced honey. Small pot, just for more experimental purpose than anything else.
Yes, sure thing. How many jars would you like? You'd be looking at round jars about the size of a good orange worth of honey. So you could probably get... That's probably like 200 mil, maybe, I think that is?
Yes, yeah.
Maybe 150.
I'm going for a wide spread rather than a deep spread, so we'll go with one each of the honeys, both the normal and the spice.
Okay. If you're buying those, would you like some of this? And he pulls out another jar. It's smaller than the other two. The price tag is double the spiced. The spiced itself is 25 gold pieces, but this is 50 gold pieces. It's smaller. It's darker, and from what you can tell, it has something in the center of it. It's like a curved, kind of like a crescent shape almost. And whatever it is, it seems to be currently placed in this rather cloudy, like kind of like outside. So where you'd have clear see-through honey, it slowly gets cloudier as it swells towards the center, where you've got this curved object.
What is it?
This stuff is stuff that I've had for a while. People don't buy it for good reason, but it might be worth a try if... I don't know what you're using your things for, but I've heard it's got some good properties regardless. It's waspine honey.
Oh.
It's
Goodness.
a very minute amount, but it's got the stinger in it, you see. So I can't sell it very well, because the stinger seems to have done something to it. But I don't know what that would have done, so... I can't tell you whether it's better or worse. It might be a wasted purchase, but nobody buys it, but you seem to be buying a little bit of everything, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's got a fairly steep price for what it is, but,
It's
considering-
waspine honey, so
I know.
it can still be expensive.
Considering the, right, we'll see how much everything else comes to, and then...
Oh, yes, of course,
we'll
of course.
Then we'll talk after that. Right, everything I've mentioned so far, and do you have any sugar? Or, sugar cane?
Sugar, no. Sugar, personally, no. But, you go down the road there, there's a lady, I can't remember her name, begins with M. She sells all forms of things like sugar and sweetened things, for jams and that sort of stuff. Berries and so on.
Oh, that's brilliant, actually.
So what you've currently got, you've got things such as cinnamon, wanted allspice,
The
What else is
cloves, the bark...
cloves, yes. And he turns around and he pats his friend on the shoulder, who, from what you can tell, he seems to like pull out a small bag from underneath his display, and slides it over. The guy opens it up and pulls out a clove and says, "Is this what you're looking for?"
Are they cloves?
Yeah,
As
they
in- Okay, then yes, that is what I'm looking for.
What else was there? Were you after the bark or were you after the cones for the pine?
The bark for now.
Okay,
I've never worked with the part of the cone before, so
understood.
best to
Um,
start with what you know, then go on to what you don't.
Okay, so point of the things you wanted. You currently have allspice, cinnamon, cloves, pine bark, cedar bark as well, was it?
Yes, cedar bark as well.
Yarrow seeds and pumpkin seeds, if
Yep,
I remember
all
correctly.
good. All good.
Was that everything?
And
And the honeys, of course.
the honeys.
He pulls the 2 jars over. The clear one, and then the one which is labelled spice with like a little bit of sprinkling of something on the inside.
Mm. And what does that all come to?
Well, let's see. That would be... Let me do a little bit of calculating here. Uh, 52 gold pieces.
Right. That's workable, but if I were to also take that horsebine honey off your hands, I feel that'd be
That would be 102.
quite a lot to spend considering I have other places to head to today.
Ah, I see. Did you want me to save it for you? Because I can do that. It's not selling.
Well, obviously, if someone specifically goes looking for it, I'm not one to stand in their way. But hang on a little bit. I may be coming into some money soon enough.
Ah, good to hear. Yes. Well, nobody's bought it yet. I've had it for a week or two. And it's the only jar I've got, and I don't put it on display because it dissuades people from coming to the market stall. So, it'll be here when you need it. I'll be in the
Thank
same
you.
place every day, so you know where to find me.
Yep. Thank you very much for your help.
No problem.
Right.
Then he grabs the sack that the small sack he's put all these things in. He puts out. Outstretches his hand for the money.
And I just pass it over because
Yep.
yeah.
You pass him the gold. He passes you the bag. Pleasure doing business with you. Hopefully I'll see you again.
Pleasure doing business.
I'm just gonna have a quick look through just to make sure I've got everything. The 2
Yeah.
jars, the
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds of stuff total.
bath. Is that
That's including the honeys.
yeah? What was the herbs weight?
The herbs weight would be, because of the amount you were buying, it's rather small quantities. You'd be looking
Yeah.
maybe 2 pounds.
Okay.
You can just put it on me.
I got plenty of space on me.
It's only once he maxes out his weight is he going to start shoving stuff onto you, Infernal.
Mm.
Mister, I can carry a statue, no problem.
You
Yeah, let me just
frankly,
put an
frankly,
elephant.
I think Infernal could carry a picture of Alexander, and he'd be fine.
Yes, he could. Actually, I get that reference. I'm just like, oh my goodness, that's so bad.
Wait, what?
Let's just say in a
Is this
game
fun?
we've previously played, there was a time when Infernal was Harlan was the painting thief, so he would go around stealing all the paintings, and that was our source of income. So every building we raided after killing the NPCs in there,
I
because they're
just
evil,
grabbed all
he
the
grabbed
fucking
every single paintings. But there were certain paintings, notoriously, there was this massive one that he picked up and he couldn't move, because it like... Where you have like a weight maximum of like 200 to 500, it took his weight to something like 5k, and he couldn't move. He just had this picture in his inventory, and he had to throw it out of his inventory somehow.
Okay,
And,
I'm just saying, we could have done a sort of a ferryman thing where
we could have, but it was worth 0 gold pieces, because they don't expect you to pick it up and sell it. Although, to be fair, we do
Sometimes,
have to
Chris,
try that at some
You've
point.
got to do what you've got to do.
We will try that at some point. Anyway,
Without wanting to go too off the top, what game is this?
Divinity Original Sin 2, which, by the way, I
Oh,
might go back
yeah.
to, depending on if me and Harlan get back into it. We'll see.
Alright.
I mean, I'm always happy to play it. Just like tell me to play it.
You're never on.
Yeah, true. Give me a call.
We'll see. Anyway, so you make your way back to the rest of the party.
yeah.
The rest of the party
Right.
sees you.
Ah.
I've got my
Sasha.
herbs, I've got my spices, I'm doing well. I just need to grab some fruits and things, and and some sugar. If there's anything else you guys want to get to, I'd say we get to that first. My stuff, it's better if that's all, most of that's fresh. It's better to get it at the end of the day.
It's reasonable. Behold, anything you're looking for?
Hmm.
Behold.
Is there an instrument shop nearby?
Give me an investigation check. I'm going to assume it's -2.
Okay, that's -1.
You go you look around for an instrument shop, and you see one in the distance.
Okay. I'm running towards it.
Alright, you just bolt off from the rest of the party, charge towards it. You make your way down the street, 1 block, 2 block, 3 blocks. It doesn't seem to be getting closer. 4 blocks, 5 blocks, 6
Keep
blocks.
chasing it.
Keeps chasing it. You keep moving until finally you get to what you're certain was the music shop. It's just a house. At this point, you're a good 200 plus feet away from the rest of your party, who have currently just watched you sprint away. Have you guys just chosen to follow him, or?
I mean,
Guys, where are you?
I'm gonna send Felipe to fly after him.
Okay, Felipe can keep up.
Yeah.
Okay. He passes out of your 100-foot range and keeps
so I
going.
can't-
Okay, do I see Felipe?
Yeah, you see
Just a
Felipe.
sec.
Okay, I start running towards him.
Okay, Felipe is currently flying towards you, so you run towards Felipe, and then it ends up being this weird kind of encircling thing, where Felipe just suddenly starts flying around you in all directions, and you keep turning. Just keep turning. 1 turn, 2 turn, 3 turn. I'd like to make me a constitution check, see if you get dizzy. Okay. What's your constitution mod? It was a constitution saving throw, so add your saving throw bonus to it.
5. Oh wait, a saving throw? 5.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 14. You don't get busy. You don't get dizzy. You turn around and you stop and you look down and you can vaguely see your party members back in the direction you just came.
Okay, I start running towards them.
Okay. You just bolt back to the party.
And I whip out my drums
Yeah.
and start playing.
You're just gonna play as you go.
Yes.
Alright. Do you have drums? I can't remember whether we actually...
Yes, I'm proficient with drums.
Just because you're proficient
Do I
doesn't mean
have
you
one?
have them. They'll be in your inventory if you have them.
Let me check. I think I bought. I'm not sure. No, I don't.
No, I think it's you have proficiency with them, so you learnt them when you were younger,
Yeah.
but you don't actually own any.
Mm.
So you're currently
I
just
thought I bought, but never mind.
bolting down the road. Thoom, 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 thoom. And this individual's just seen you run one way, and then you just run back. What's the hurry, mate?
I mean, can't find the instrument shop.
Instrument shop? It's that way. And he points the way you just came.
Okay, I start running that way again.
So you do a full 180. At this point, the party is like 20 or maybe 40 feet away or something. Is anybody in the party doing anything, or?
I'm just trying to catch up with Bhold, I think.
Okay. So do you go full dash, or do you walk, or do you jog? Because if you're going full speed, then you'll be able to keep up with him.
I'm full dashing, so.
Yeah, he's full dashing, so he's going like 60 feet every few seconds.
Well, I know Elsyan, a man of higher birth, will not run after such a creature. But the
Okay.
others might be. But he is power walking.
He's power. Okay, so I'll say you're doing like
at least,
a half dash.
yeah,
So
I'm
you're
just
moving
trying to
about
keep, like
40.
half an eye on him.
Yeah, so you're striding towards him slowly but surely. Queglod, what's your current stand on this?
My current stand, I'm gonna walk after Behold. I'm gonna call out to him once.
Okay. Alright, I'd like you and Behold to both make a roll.
Okay.
Behold, add your perception bonus, please.
I need to roll?
You're rolling your perception.
19.
Okay. On perception? Oh, yeah, it's wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you hear this. Do you stop or do you keep going?
Wait, what did I hear?
You heard Queglod yell your name.
I stop and turn for a second.
Okay. So you stop, you turn. Queglod, do you notice this?
I guess so. Do I need to...
No, you notice this, I
After
said,
that?
sorry.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and it's this. Where are you going, Bhold? You took off in quite a hurry.
I want to buy drums.
I see. Are there any drums that way?
Some guy told me there were instrument shop.
Hmm. Well, let's go and have a look then.
Okay, I turn and dash again. Looking for one.
You just dash off. Felipe's
I'm
still
gonna- yeah.
following Hold at this point. And at this point you've caught up Sam and or Elsyan, and you're slowly keeping up with him as he continues to make his stride down the road. You're currently making your way away from the marketplace, so Sasha, are you following or are you splitting off?
I guess I'm following. Like, we've still got a good chunk of the day left, right?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk in their direction.
Okay.
Thank
Shuffling
you,
along with your rather slow speed, slowly but surely, you're shuffling along, following the rest of them. Taking your time, and Sasha, you also following along slowly but surely, or are you charging?
Oh, very slowly but surely. I am not getting... I'm not pushing myself for this shit.
So Queglod and Sasha are at the back. Elsyan is power striding quite successfully as a high elf. Just about able to... he's having a little bit of difficulty keeping up, but then again he's not full striding. And Behold's just charging ahead. Behold, I'd like you to give me a perception check.
Not a one, please.
7?
7.
You don't see the instrument shop the individual was talking about.
Right. Is there anyone close I can ask?
Yeah, there's a few people. They're currently just walking down the street. There's a couple, and there's a mother with what look to be 4 children just walking along. One of whom is on those leashes that you have for your small kids. As I used to have in my day.
I'm gonna go ask the couple.
You're gonna ask the couple, okay.
Yeah. Excuse me,
Can I help you?
is there an instrument shop around here?
Over there. Just points in a general direction down the road a little bit further.
Okay, I start dashing that way.
Okay. You just keep going. At this point, Elsyan, you just do like a casual power stride into their point of view. You look over. Do you do anything, or are you just power striding still?
Hmm?
Are you just power walking still?
Yeah, I'm power walking.
Yeah.
Man of noble birth, I cannot run unless it is absolutely required.
So with his hands behind his back, Bhold just takes off. Bhold leaves walking past, and then Elsyan, hands behind his back in a fashion, head held high, back straight, just power walking his way through past the couple and all the others, making his way down the road. Sasha and Queglod, you're a little ways back at this point, maybe a good 150 feet away. You're keeping up. Give me another perception check. Bhold. Okay, that would be
10.
that would be a 10. You see on the side, you see a small amount of shops at this point. There aren't too many. There's just a few bits and pieces, or a few small shops that you can see, but you can't read, so you don't know which one the instrument shop is.
Fuck, I didn't think about that. Do I see anything that looks something like drums?
Give me an investigation check. You do. You see, as you're walking along, you you're currently stood between the three shops, and the thought crosses your mind of, if only I knew which one was the right shop. And you hear a bell go, a small bell, and you turn around and you see the shop door open, and inside you can see a pair of old war drums, fairly large, probably a good 3 feet across, circular, with a large tanned skin or hide on the top, held down by what look to be kind of some metal nails of sort, with string and other rope attached to it, holding it taut. And the door then proceeds to close slowly as the individual who's currently holding what looks to be some form of box with some shiny metallic instrument, you assume, inside it, walking down the road.
My eyes just have stars in them and just run in.
Okay. You will see this take place. Elsyan, you're fairly close behind, so you know exactly which shop he goes into. The other, Sasha and Queglod, I'd like you to do perception checks. And are you following along, Elsyan? At this point, you were there while Behold's brain was working.
13.
Yeah, I'm following.
Simon?
Yeah, I'm going to be following as well. My total comes to 13 as well.
Yeah. So
Right,
you both
roll.
know exactly which shop he goes into. Sam, you don't need to worry about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind then.
Yeah.
Also, what's sorry, what's Felipe doing at the moment? Is he following Infernal?
Felipe, at this point,
Or is he waiting outside?
he's noticed he's going in the shop, so he sits on the sign outside.
Okay.
Kind of like, this is the doorway that you need to go into.
Alright.
Behold, I need you to give me a roll. This is an intelligence check.
Oh no.
Do you push or do you pull?
I push.
Okay. You push the door and it opens nicely, nice and easily. Doesn't matter,
I
you
didn't want to
couldn't,
break the door.
Solved my door puzzle.
couldn't read the push sign. And you go, you push on the door, opening it up, you see, on the inside, you see a rather fancy-looking individual wearing what looks to be some form of a waistcoat and jacket on the outside, very smart-looking, monocle over one eye, and which to you is just a shiny piece of glass. And he has a long beard that leads from the base of his lip and just a little bit of his chin, leading downwards, kind of like a Dumbledore beard. No moustache whatsoever, just that form of beard, leading down. His hair is slick and tied back, covered in some form of. It doesn't look like sweat, but it's shiny and it doesn't look naturally there. Not how his hair should be. He has jet black hair, pale in skin color, and he himself is a high elf as well. And Elsyan, you walk in and see this as well, as Bhold squeezes himself through the door, after pushing on the door successfully. The bell goes off before Behold's head casually hits the bell, and it rings a little bit louder as you make your way in.
Okay. Hello. I want to buy drums.
Ah, hello. Drums? Of course. What kind of drums are you looking for?
The big ones.
War drums?
Yes.
Ah. Well, are you after these ones in particular, or are there others you would like?
Which ones are the biggest?
That would be these ones, and he places his hand on the war drums you saw.
Yes, I would like them.
Ah, excellent. Right. So, how much would you like them for?
I need to put a price.
Yep.
How much are you willing to give them for?
For both of them, along with the sticks that come with them, I would say probably 75, maybe 65 at the best gold pieces. You don't know what that number is. It's above 3. Somewhere.
Yeah, it's above Apple, I think.
It's above Apple, yeah.
I just take off my bag and just pull out a handful.
Okay.
Do I need to offer how many?
I'll give that a roll. I'll do 2d.
Rolls a 20. Pulls out the perfect number.
Okay. So I got an 11, so I'm going to say you pulled out around about 43 gold pieces, and you currently held it out on your hand, right? That's a difficult price. Maybe a few more.
Okay, I pull out again.
It's at this point that he's like started counting them, putting them on like a stool that he's just pulled over, and he's currently putting them into piles. You can you see there's 1 pile, then 2 piles, then 3 piles, then apple. Then he goes into a 5th one. You pull out some more. You pull out like another small clump of them. You're not sure how many. It's above apple still. And he makes a and he continues making a series of piles. And as he looks at it, he goes, so you wanted this for 65?
Yes.
Okay.
No clue what I just agreed to.
Okay. He puts his fingers from all 5 of his fingers from one hand onto the corresponding piles, and then he splits one of the piles, and then he takes one and one of the split piles, and this to you it's just mind-boggling what he's doing.
Question, have we showed up yet?
At this point, I'm going to say that you're currently at the door, and Felipe is currently, like, cawing. And a few pedestrians have currently got annoyed at Felipe. He's loudly cawing.
Queglod.
I'm going to command him to be
Continuing.
quiet and just bring it back onto my...
Ha! Just flies
I'm going to pull
down.
him back to my staff, yeah.
Sits on the end of your staff, yeah.
Why are you making so much noise, Felipe? What's gotten into you?
Ha! Ha! Give me a roll, see if you can understand what your familiar is trying to let you know.
Okie dokie.
You have no idea.
No.
Sounds like gibberish. It's animal speak.
Can I
Can I
perception-
understand it with my low intelligence?
Can you understand with your low intelligence? Sure. Let's give it a roll. Come on, let's see what you get. 10. Unfortunately, with something of a lower intelligence than you also can't understand whatever gibbering it's trying to make. You think Felipe's trying to count, but you lost it at 2 cores, so...
I'm just going to perception to try and see Behold,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you see
19.
you see Behold, he's inside the store and he's currently talking to a large high and
no.
Elsyan's
no,
currently
Behold-
standing next to him.
Oh god, no. Queglod, Behold's trying to buy something.
Oh dear.
Uh,
Unless he's figured out how to count, that's going to be a problem. We'd best intervene.
Elsyan, up to this point, the salesman's played fair. He's counted out the money, you've counted along with him, the gold was split perfectly, and he has agreed on the 65 gold pieces price. He has done everything fair. Are you muted, or...?
Elsyan.
He did. Alright, let's carry on.
Okay, I'm dead.
Sam died.
He's currently browsing and he's got his head stuck in a trombone or something. I don't know.
Why can't Sam? You there?
What?
Elsyan, wake the fuck up!
What? I'm hit.
He's just standing up.
Elsyan's.
He's standing, but he's unconscious. He's just like staring at this gold, and for whatever reason, his brain was also blown when he managed to perfectly pick up the 10 gold pieces and split them into 2 stacks of 5 perfectly.
You see, because I have other people to count money for me.
So his mind
Oh,
blown
really?
when he
I
managed that.
don't see them.
Fine, so I think I do many things. You know what? I don't have time for this. And I'm gonna just step away from the counter and look for a flute or something that I might be vaguely interested in.
Okay, you find a series of flutes currently on stands on the side. And the shopkeeper says, "Ah, all customers. I'll be with you in just a moment. Let me just finish this up here." So, that is 65 gold pieces as agreed for the drums.
Yeah.
Good. Pleasure doing business with you. There is the rest of your gold, and you may take the drums as well. Careful as you take them out of the door.
Okay. I put them in my bag.
Okay. You now have 2 large war drums. They aren't going to fit in your bag.
What do you mean?
The sticks will, the war drums won't.
What?
You know how big
They're 3-foot war
are?
drums. They're like from your head to your stomach size. Like IRL. These are big war drums. They aren't flat. They're probably like 3 by 3 by 3. If you were to put it into if you're going to put it into a box, that's what you'd have in terms of feet. That's a pretty big, and you have 2 of them.
Okay, I'll just carry them then.
Okay. Okay, so you have those, and you currently have 2 drums, and you have 2 what are basically sticks with a bit of
How much did they weigh?
padding on the end. The drums, I'm gonna say that they weigh, because drums are quite heavy. Let's say that for the 2 of them, they weigh 26 pounds total. And the sticks are just going to weigh nothing because it's dead weight, it's fine.
I don't need this.
You're going to leave the sticks there? Or are you going to pick them up as well? Behold?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave them. Does not work?
You leave them there, yeah, that's fine. Do you pick up the drums? Do you leave, or do you stick around seeing Queglod and Sasha currently there?
I'm just gonna go in the corner and look at them. Admire.
You go over to one part of the corner of the store. There is a tiny stool there. Give me an intelligence check. Actually, no, let's make this a wisdom check.
Oh,
Let's
no.
be a little bit more fair, because this is it's a wise thing to do. What is that? Wisdom
You
check.
said wisdom?
Yep.
My wisdom is 3.
+3.
Yeah.
Is that with your proficiency or not? It's the lower of the 2 numbers.
Well, it's the 3.
3. Okay.
+3, yeah.
Wow, you have a high wisdom for a...
Dumb.
Yeah.
I have 12 wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh, if you have 12 wisdom, that'll be a 1, because the 3 is with proficiency. But it's a general check, so it's just a 1.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, yeah, I thought it was lower than that. But yeah, so you look at the chair and or at the stool, and you have a quick thought, and you think, this might actually not be a bad idea. You move the stool to the side, you place the drum on top of it, and you just sit down cross-legged, and your head is a little bit above where the drum at this point. One of them anyway. You put the other one down to the side. At this point, is anybody else investigating or wanting to do anything? Elsyan, you found a nice set of flutes on the side. You found some rather interesting flute designs. Some of them seem to be made of metal, some of them seem to be made of wood. From what you can tell, one looks elvish in make. Rather fancy with a little bit of gold etching into it.
I'm going to investigate the elvish-looking one and try and figure out if it is actually elvish or just a fake.
Okay, give me a investigation check. Okay.
And that's 2.
You're not certain.
Investigation. That makes an 8.
That makes an 8. You're still not quite certain. It looks genuine, but you can't see any flaws in it, so... Not too sure.
No expert.
You think it's genuine?
Why'd you say shit like that, Harlan? Why'd you do that? Why you do this to me? Ugh.
Sasha and Queglod, are you doing anything at the moment?
We've entered the shop, right?
Yeah, you've entered the shop. Bhold has just finished his purchase and is completely ignoring the two of you. He goes and sits down and is currently staring at his drums. And you can see that there's some form of brain power being used in there, and you don't want to interrupt it in fear of what might happen. It's like an elephant in a China... What is it? Elephant in a China store, is it?
A bowl, but yeah.
Bull in a China store. Yeah. It's basically that might happen if you interrupt him.
Very well, I'll leave him alone.
Ah,
Elsyan. Was there any trouble?
Not that I can think of, just the merchant here. He seems to be able to do amazing things with money. Just taking it and changing it to multiple stacks. It's amazing. I've never seen anyone do this before. But no trouble.
I see. I suppose that wouldn't be the only strange thing about this shopkeeper.
It seems to be.
The fake beard is a bit unusual.
I have to agree, but never mind.
Does this place sell explicitly instruments?
such as...
What else?
Well, I mean,
Or-
is there
or
anything other
just-
than instruments?
Just instruments, yeah. Just instruments from what you can tell.
Are there scientific instruments?
Such as...
Oh, don't. You're trying to get through on a technicality. This is
No,
amazing.
it's
It was worth a
it's
try.
musical instruments only from what you can tell. You can give me an
Right.
investigation check if you wish, but...
Nope, I am uninterested immediately.
Right, I'm going to roll to see if Elsyan actually knows how to play the flute, because I never even thought of that.
Okay.
Oop.
Unfortunately, you're not entirely sure how to. You've seen people do it, and it won't be too hard to learn. But for you, it's never been a craft you've been too interested in.
I'm now going to talk to the seller. Excuse me, where did you get this elvish flute from?
I got that one from the Elven Kingdom. Capital, if you must know.
Hmm.
I used to live there. I used to have a shop, but unfortunately let's say some unsavory things occurred in the kingdom. You might have been there. I not sure.
Gonna roll a history check.
Yeah.
15 plus the 6 for his 6. Yes, 6 was that's 21.
You know that the closest thing that he could be referring to is when the mountain strongholds went to war against the Empire.
Okay.
But you would have been maybe 20 years of age at best.
This is still a very young
So
child.
you would have been...
Wait, how old is this guy then?
Give me an insight check. Let's see if you have any basic age.
Did you say he was human?
No, he's high elf, like you.
He's high. Oh, he is high. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
You look at him and you're like, man, this guy looks, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 years old.
God damn. You're an old motherfucker.
Fuck me.
No thanks.
Wow.
Just
That is
Fuck.
obviously what he is. Ugh. Fair enough. I don't suppose you have any books, per se. What was that, Chris?
I'm just wondering, how old do elves actually live up to?
That's
Don't know.
Age 750. Yeah, so you're like guys like 1,000,
Okay, right,
2,000 years old.
Okay, the 750. That's the average age.
They can be. Yeah.
That's how I'm going to explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only that because of all the ones that die as like infant.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's like
The,
stupid old as far as you're aware. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. The beard just defies explanation, but that's fine.
Elves aren't exactly known for being hairy creatures.
Eat.
Well, if he's this
Grow a
old,
beard
must
is a feat
surely-
of its own, especially that length.
if he's that old, he must surely know what he's doing. I think I'm going to purchase this flute. So, how much for this flute here?
Well, it's a rather well-made piece, I will admit, and it is one of the last things from my shop. How much would you like to offer for it? And I'll tell you if I can suit the price or not.
100 gold.
That wouldn't be a bad price, I will admit. Yes,
Maybe I should have started lower.
sure. That is fine by me. Yes, 100 gold will do.
I'm going to pay the 100 gold. Bye-bye, my gold.
Okay. You give him 100 gold, he gives you the elven flute,
No, nice.
which you can't play.
It's just 100 gold just gone on a flute. It's better pay off at some point, and I don't know how. Just quickly, I don't suppose you have any materials on helping someone learn to play the flute.
Oh, if you're after learning material, yes, I do, in fact. I'm assuming for the flute.
Yes. I definitely didn't buy a flute without actually making sure I knew how to play a flute or enjoyed it at all.
Many people do. I don't judge. I'm sure your friend over there knows how to play the drums well. Currently looking over, just Bhold, currently staring at the drums, eyes wide. And they're slowly getting wider and wider as he comes to the realization of how he can play the drums.
See, once he learns that he can hit it, it will be...
Can I start playing them?
We'll get to that in just a second. And, so he reaches under the desk and he pulls out a small book. It's a small book, probably A5, and he passes it over and says, this is a fairly easy to learn guide for the flute. It teaches you the basics of how to do it, and that sort of thing I can give for free. It's not worth much. If you wanted a more advanced guide, it's 5 gold pieces for that one.
I think I'll pay for both, actually.
Okay. He reaches under and he pulls out a slightly thicker guide. It's got a more fancy cover. It seems to have been, instead of being a softback, it seems to be a hardback book. And pass it to you, and 5 gold pieces, please.
And here you go.
Thank you very much.
I must ask, do that thing where you stack the coins.
Like this. And he takes the 5 coins that are currently just like, they're just like scattered in his hand, and he like does like a small jump and then like brings all of his fingers to a point and then puts his hand over and like puts the coins down in a perfect stack. You mean like that?
Exactly. Now, just making a point, we figured out that Elsyan is the highest intelligence person or character in our party. Amazed by stacking
Not me.
coins.
Yeah. Also, do I see this?
Yeah, you see it.
Miraculous
It's
stacking. Huh.
give me a roll.
Roll for
Just a roll. Just
mesmerization, yeah.
no, not for mesmerization, just
Okay.
you realise as he's done this, he's used a charm spell.
Oh god.
And suddenly, Infernal, you come to this realization. It's nothing. It's fine. Nothing happened. You're sat there staring at your drums.
Okay, I'm in the shop technically, but like, do I notice this bullshit?
I'm gonna say, give me a roll. This is an Arcana check.
Oh, okay, well then he's safe.
Yeah. Simon's trained in it, so I asked him.
Yeah.
Natural
Oh,
20.
no, he's not.
Oh.
You recognise this as well. This is something which merchants have done in the past with charming individuals. It seems that what he's done here is he seems to have just cast it on Sam, but he hadn't previously.
Mm-hmm.
Which is strange, because you'd think you'd cast Charm on someone before the sale.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna take Queglod aside and just like whisper that to him.
I'm not going to become inducted into a cult, because...
Queglod.
I bought a
Did,
flute,
uh,
and now I'm a cult member.
Yeah. Oddly enough,
Did you
he
notice as
placed,
well?
he placed that after he bought the... Bit odd.
Very strange.
This feels like a
Keep an eye
situation.
on them.
I think we should just sort of confront him. I mean, honesty is the policy.
Yes, that may be the best idea.
Uh,
There's a good explanation for this.
Hello, shopkeep, sir.
How can I help you?
I couldn't help but notice your little trick there. Mind if I ask why?
Word of mouth, friend. I don't like cheating people. I could have easily cheated on
Fair,
on
fair.
that one over there, pointing at the currently staring
Oh,
at his
yeah, you could
drums,
have taken his entire
lifting
money
his
and-
hand slowly but surely.
About to hit the drum.
About to hit the drums. And I could have easily tricked your friend over there, but
Yeah,
I don't like tricking people out of it. I let them make the prices, and if they don't understand, I give them the average price I would give any other individual.
right. That's fair. I was a tad confused. Like, you did. I saw you do it after you'd already bought the things. I was like going, hey, yeah, I wasn't assuming you were like cheating or anything. I was just like a bit confused.
Understandable. It's a natural thing that we elves
Yeah.
are generally used to.
Get yourself a bit of a...
Yes, as long as you're not cheating people out of their money, all's fair, I suppose.
Money is rarely a concern in this city. A lot of people buy instruments, especially the military, for when they break theirs. Drums are partially popular, but that set over there, well, a fairly nice set. It'll be a shame to part with it, but I guess I get to keep the sticks. Don't know what I'll use them for, though. Inferno, give me a performance check.
Oh, he's doing it.
Doom. It resonates. It is a nice, clear note. You hit it, and the shopkeeper looks over at you, and you look over at the shopkeeper with a just massive grin on your face. And he looks over at you as like a... Is that a fluke, or is that a well-paid note? And then you just start rhythmically... just hitting the drum again and again. Deep notes beating, very good notes, consistent, and it all starting to come back to you, the sound of the war drums which your tribe would have used back in the Highlands when they were hunting down a large beast or confronting another tribe or clan that they would eventually defeat and absorb into their own. It's playing again and again and again. All of you are kind of surprised at this, that this is actually a very, very well made or very well done piece.
I shall name it Apple.
Really? That high?
The drums or the song?
The song.
I see.
I would have thought you'd start with one.
No.
Are you
Fair
counting
enough.
down to one?
No.
Maybe.
I don't think that'll take long.
Don't
In all
worry.
honesty,
He doesn't know.
numbers.
I understood that.
Yeah.
In any case, were you planning on buying anything?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not
No,
good at
we-
music. But
we only
we're just
came
here
in
with
to
our
check.
friends.
I see.
Yes.
Well, thank you for purchasing, and, well, if you find any need or you want any more instruments, or if you want anything else, I'll see if I can get you anything.
Very well. We'll keep you in mind then.
Thank you. And do have a good day.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
Have a
you
lovely
as
one
well.
yourself.
He gives you a nod as you leave, and he's taken the coins at this point that you've put on you put the 5 gold pieces on. He's taken all the coins and he seems to have put them in something behind his desk, and he wanders out from behind his desk and goes to another one of the displays as you're all proceeding to file out. Bhold, are you currently just sat down still in the corner, or have you got up and you're going to leave with the rest?
I'm getting up now. I finished my song.
Okay. Okay, so you all get up. I assume you're taking your leave as well, Elsyan.
Yep.
Okay. You all take your leave. You leave through the store. Everyone, give me an initiative check,
Oh God, no.
or should I say, everybody roll initiative.
Alright.
Oh god.
Yeah, boy.
Because just checking, we didn't have a long rest, did we?
Well, no, because Sam, you're the first one to the door. Do you push or pull?
No, no. Just in between last session and this one.
No,
just-
you haven't had a long rest yet. You've only had a short rest, which means you can spend hit die to regain health if you need to.
It's not health that I need. Side points, but yes.
Yeah,
I'm
do-
going.
Do you push or pull?
Push.
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 Give me a strength check.
Oh fuck!
no.
I'm trying to push a pole door, aren't I?
Yeah.
You.
I promise I'll roll better next.
You-
Oh fuck!
You hold onto the door, and you remember, Infernal pushed this or Bhold pushed this door last time. Oh well. And there's this push from behind you as Bhold just walks into your back, and you're like, well, I can't pull it now, so you just push, and there's this minor ding as the door just swings open onto the outward front,
I'm just gonna keep walking.
and you just walk out of the store. The shopkeeper at this point has turned, and he's noticed, and he's currently just looking at the party. Do any of you look back, or
I'm already down the street, mate.
I'm just gonna say
power walked down the
I am
street?
I'm so sorry for my friend. Oh God, not again.
Ah, don't worry, he's fixed the door. It's supposed to go outwards.
Oh,
I had to remove the
Oh.
hinges from the inside to make it go inwards. Perfect. Thank you very much. And he walks over to the door, proceeds to pull out like a series. He walks behind his desk, goes and pulls out these series of like long metal like rods, and walks back to the door. And you can see at this point that the door's like off its hinges. It's like swiveling off, just about to fall over. He grabs the side of the door, locks it in place, and just slides these rods into place. Just like pulls the door back closed and tries to push it, and it just doesn't open. It's stuck.
Nice.
Oh, magic.
Witchcraft.
Wait, so the door is stuck closed now.
Is it magic or basic engineering?
You don't know. You're on the outside at this point, just watching this
Okay.
transpire, and he goes to pull the door. The door is currently stuck.
Okay, I just want to make sure we haven't trapped this guy in his shop. Well, yes, he would have trapped himself. That's fine. It's his own fault then.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
what time of day is it around now?
At this point, in this time, somewhere between... With everything that's transpired, it took you about 20 minutes to walk to the main market. took maybe 10 minutes browsing, 10-20 minutes in the store, in the storefront and walking down the street. You're currently walking back to market. It's maybe 3:15 at this point.
Well,
You
it's still
can
alive.
you can wait out if you want. Just say we're
I
gonna
mean,
wait in the tavern or something.
I'm gonna grab my fruits and things. Sugar.
So
Yeah,
you
very well.
begin to head down the street. Are you still power walking down the street, Elsyan, or have you stopped?
Yeah,
And
I think I've stopped to let the others catch up, and I'm gonna.
you've stopped at this point, and you can see Bhold currently walking along with these two large war drums out in front. He's kind of just got them grasped, one with each arm, just trotting down the road with these two war drums. And you've just let the others catch up at this point. You'll continue heading down the road towards the market, I assume?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay.
Well, I'm accompanying Sasha.
You make it down towards the market, and Sasha, I'd like you to give me an investigation check. See if you can find the individual who you were directed towards. DC will be lower, but you still have to roll for it. Because you know you're looking for a female, and you know that you're looking for a stall that's selling berries and sugar,
Yeah.
as well as things for jam making, so jars.
You can
and
probably
maybe
smell
a
the
squeezer,
jam.
that sort of thing. Yeah.
I feel so bad about this.
You walk down the road. You see, as you get towards the market, you see the person you just previously purchased stuff off. He's currently selling things, and the person on the other side, who you can tell, they look very similar. They seem to be brothers of sorts. And he sees you, and he points down the road a little bit. Puts his thumbs up, goes back to what he's doing, which is sorting out the display and currently packing
I'm up
some
back
stuff.
at them and head on my way.
You head down the rest of the market way, the rest of the party following along. Behold, a few people have to duck out of the way as this Goliath comes through with these massive war drums, just ducking out of the way, a few people muttering as they walk away, like, "You should watch where he's going, this is a crowded place, he shouldn't be here," and just muttering as you walk away. And eventually you come to a stand which is currently manned by what looks to be a gnomish woman who seems to be standing on some form of a stool, and you see that there's 3 tiers to her stand as it is. And there's a top height where it's currently a flat surface which seems to have things like a few pieces of paper, the odd pen, what looks to be a set of scales which is currently nailed to a block of wood that's also on the top surface. And then below that you see what seems to be some like racks with things with like trays of berries and things like that, but there seems to be a cover over them, kind of like a felt just like a felt front to it, which some people are currently lifting up and having a look at what's inside, and she seems to be on the other side with things like jars and other bits and pieces. You can see in one of these trays, which currently has a lid to it, with a glass top to it, you can see that there's sugar on the inside, or at least a white powder.
Snort some of it.
No, Behold, we're not doing that. Queglod, can you make sure he doesn't do anything silly?
Yes, I'll keep an eye on him.
Yes.
But
Wonderful
his manager?
idea, Behold, but remember, you got to purchase things.
Yes, remember we discussed this.
Okay.
About money?
Yes.
Yeah, like with the drums.
Drums. Okay, I play drums.
you
I've got a headache.
Yeah,
I'm gonna slap myself in the face.
as you're currently in this busy street, you take a seat. At which point, a few people clear out, and they're like, "Whoa, what you doing, mate?" And you just put down this drum. You turn around to them, this
Awesome.
massive grin on your face, and you just stop playing the drums. Give me a performance check.
Both of the drums.
Both of the drums. Alright, now that you're playing
Wow.
both of them at the same time, there's a rhythm to it, and it is amazing. And everybody around is just a few. It quietens down a little bit, and a few people are looking over, and they're.
I'm gonna put down my helmet on the ground for people to throw money into.
You put down your helmet, you put it upright in front of Bhold. Bhold is just currently going off on one with this these war drums playing, and he's got his eyes closed for the entire thing, and he just hears the ting 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 as coins are just being dropped into the helmet.
Guys, are we just going to become a party of bards?
Yep.
And you
I'm
see,
entirely okay with that.
and you see at this point the gnome looks over, and you hear a voice in your ear say, "I hope I'm getting a share of that. Otherwise, you can clear off."
It depends on where. We're bringing customers to your stall, but also as long as you're willing to sell me stuff, that will yes.
Yep, these guys are with me.
Lovely. Come
Yeah.
to this delightful store.
At which point there's like a few individuals who are kind of just like, nope, and just walk down the street. But other people who are currently there are just watching and listening to this rhythm at this point.
Right.
Elsyan and Queglod, can you both give me perception checks, please? And while this is all going on, the gnome goes over and says, "Well, what can I do for you then? If you want to buy some things, I'm more than happy to."
Wait, is that to me?
Yes, what would you like?
Right. Well, I'm definitely looking for sugar. I'm also looking for whatever long-lasting berries you've got.
Dried stuff, or are you looking for fresh stuff that lasts?
Either or. I'm also fine with fresh stuff, but if it'll last, that's a bonus.
Right. See what I can do. And you suddenly feel a rush of air as the felt is flipped over the top, and you can see below an array of trays filled with fresh fruits, dry fruits, and berries. You've got things like raspberries in there. Dried ones are all like crinkled up. They're rather small, about the size of a pea. You got look to be dried things like raspberries, strawberries. You've got nuts as well in there. You've got sugars and other few ground bits and pieces of what look to be the odd spice here or there. You can't recognise them, and a few of the labels are a bit worn and can't really tell what they are. You see a series of jars on the lower shelf below, of all varying sizes. Some of them look like potion bottles, some look like jars, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you got all sorts of like fruits and berries laid out: cranberries, gooseberries, blackberries. And you notice that there are also some less edible ones. There's a very, very small pouch of nightshade berries, along with a few other ones which you wouldn't want to necessarily get close to. There's some rotweed berries in there. While this is all going on, did you roll your perception checks? Queglod and Elsyan?
No, not yet.
Want to do that for me, please?
No,
You've noticed that down the road you've caught the attention of what look to be a series of guards, which are just casually patrolling.
do they look like they're going to be trouble, or...?
Give me an insight check. With both of you can do it, because you've both spotted
Sure.
it at this point.
That's 8.
Oh, that's 18 again.
Someone's useful.
You look over and you see the guards. The guards seem to be looking in your general direction. And from what you can't really tell too much from this distance. Queglod, despite you being quite small, at this point you've climbed up onto the back of Bhold, and you're currently holding the helmet up above his head, where all the money is, and some people are just dropping it in that way, so it's not going all over the street floor. And you notice over the way that the guards who are currently looking this way, some of them seem to be nodding their heads to the beat of the war drums, and one of them is currently making his way towards you. He doesn't seem to be too displeased with what's taking place.
Seems they like the music. Very well then. Carry on, Behold.
Another performance check. You have please, Infernal.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm lagging. I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Could you repeat?
Another performance check, please. Just for your continued performance. 2!
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh god, no.
I'm going to try and play my flute to cover it
My
up.
performance is 2
Okay,
as well.
make
so it's
a roll with disadvantage, please, Sam. So,
I also have something I want to do, but I'll let this happen first. As like a...
4.
Okay, so...
What's my performance? That comes to an 8.
That's not bad, actually.
mine is a 4.
Alright. So what ends up
Do I
happening
notice this?
is... You hear it. You don't notice it, you hear it.
Okay.
And at this point, you notice that Infernal has gone, Behold, he's currently going away, he's drumming away, his eyes are closed, and then he stops, points up at Elsyan as if he's expecting him to go in. Elsyan rummages around his backpack, pulls out a flute, and begins to nervously try playing, which is all screechy and horrible, and there's this as he's trying to get the wind through the flute sound being played at the moment.
The moment this starts up, what I do is, I immediately use my thaumaturgy to make a loud bang and say, "Sorry guys, show's over. There's been an unfortunate scheduling issue, and we must be off."
Give me a performance check.
Come on, Harlan.
Go on, save us all.
We believe in you.
That sounded like one of those
That
duck
is a
things.
9. That is an average 9.
Okay. Some of the people who are nearby, they look over and they're like, "That's just a fluke. Was he actually playing? What's going on?" At this point, Behold and Elsyan, have you stopped playing at this point?
I think Elsyan very quickly decided to stop playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Behold, did you stop?
Yeah, I heard what he said and I stopped.
So you've both stopped. You put your instruments away, and you've said that, and the guard walks over and is like, "Unfortunately, you're correct. Do you have a permit to be here?"
Oh, I was not told of any... frankly, this was a bit of an unplanned thing, and I was unaware that it required permitting in the first place, so my apologies. My friend Bhold there recently got his drum, and he's quite taken with it. And as you can see, I'd rather not tell him not to.
Give me a persuasion check.
Anyone in our group have charisma, by the way? Anyone?
I have 14.
I can speak with them.
What is that?
9, it's a 9.
It's a 9 still.
9 is all the way down.
Okay. You played well. You got a bit of gold, I see, looking into the helmet.
Would this be one of those situations where that gold is then split for
Yes.
permitting purposes?
Not for permitting purposes, but for fine purposes, because you don't... As much as I don't want to, because I enjoyed the music, I still have to, I'm afraid.
It's the law, it's got to be done.
That's fair.
Let's say, looking in there roughly, I don't know how many copper pieces, silver pieces, or gold pieces make this up. Maybe there's even a platinum piece in there, I have no idea. Let's say, if you've got 15 gold pieces in there, that is your fine. You can keep whatever's the rest. If you don't have that much in there, I'll just take whatever you've earned.
Alright
Fair?
then.
Can I roll an intimidation check?
What are you saying, and go ahead?
I just want to intimidate him.
You just want to intimidate. Okay, give me a roll, so you're just going to stare at him.
Okay.
I'm going to do a wisdom save to resist this.
I'm trained in intimidation as well.
I know, that's still a 10. He looks down and goes, 7 gold.
Lovely idea. Let's see precisely how much we've got.
Chris, how are we working this out? I'm guessing a random number generator is what we're going with here.
Give me a sec, I gotta roll your dice. So you got this many, you got this many, have this many. To roll that a second time. This could be good or bad. That's not bad. You have earned a grand total of that would be that as well. I need to roll that for this. You have made a grand total of 11 gold pieces, 41 silver pieces, and 50 copper pieces. So whoever wants to add that to their inventory and then subtract 7 gold pieces from that, you're welcome to do so.
Queglod, he's your giant. This
Very well.
is on you.
Okay.
Okay. I'll,
Do you take the gold? You take the 7 out for the guard. 7 gold pieces.
Okay. Yeah, I'll deal with the gold. I'll do that, and then I'll give the rest to Bhold.
Okay.
He's the one actually playing.
Okay. So Behold,
Okay.
add 4 gold pieces, 41 silver pieces, and 50 copper pieces to your inventory. The conversion rate for... Yeah, I know, right? It's way over Apple. It's a lot of money. In your eyes, anyway. The conversion rate for each is 10 copper pieces makes a silver piece, 10 silver pieces makes a gold piece, 100 gold pieces makes a platinum piece, and then 1,000 platinum pieces makes a ancient coin. Ancient coins, there were only ever 50 of them made, so they're stupid rare.
How many silver pieces do I got?
41. So that's effectively 4 gold, 1 copper, but you have to write it as 41 silver pieces because the weight will go up.
Okay, because I currently have 46 silver and 50 copper.
Yeah, so that's what you'd have.
Okay, good.
And obviously you could exchange pineapples worth of silver, or 2 pineapples worth of silver for 1 gold. But, hey ho, you wouldn't know that.
No.
This is why I said I was giving it to Queglod. Queglod knows what
Queglod gave it to Queglod gave it to Bhold, so Bhold has the money.
It's fine. I've been
I just
teaching
have-
him how to use money, just not
Very well.
very well yet.
I'm just grey circle stones.
An apple is 3 copper pieces, or 4 copper pieces, okay? He's getting there. And a pineapple is probably more like 10, but oh well. Skip a few numbers, it's fine. So, thanks. I'll see you around. Make sure if you do this again you got a permit, and try not to do it in the marketplace either. You're gonna have to speak to some of the higher ups. We're looking at the governor. I would say the chancellor, but the chancellor's kind of, you know.
Quick thing. Queglod, have you got that coin?
Oh yes, yes. There was one thing we should show you.
Coin?
Yep.
Yes, we were given this by the
High Marshal.
like the High Marshal.
Oh!
Just,
Oh! On what grounds?
well, we're just doing
Wait,
some
they're
work for
on-
him around the city. You know, trying to
I see.
investigate around, blend in, you know.
I see. Well... Okay, he at this point he pulls his hand back out of his pocket with the 7 gold pieces and what looks to be a wrapper of sorts which had like a sweet in it at some point. He pulls the wrapper off and he goes, "Take this back.
Yep.
You never saw me. And have a
I
good
don't-
day. However, don't do it in the street again because that
Well,
coin will
sure,
only, that
fair,
coin will only
fair.
get you so far.
Fair,
Have a good
fair.
day."
Fair enough.
And he turns around and quickly
You
walks
enjoy
away.
yourself, sir.
He like speed walks away to the rest of his guards, who he then talks to. They all proceed to look at you wide-eyed and walk away.
And just like, Go away, leave, run.
Yeah, effectively.
Well,
Well, that was certainly interesting. So, what were you after there?
Right, yes. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, so the sugar is a definite.
How much?
Let's go with what's your rate per pound?
3 gold pieces per pound. Sugar's not
Right,
easy to come by, I had to import it, but still, it's
Uh,
doable.
I will take 2 pounds of sugar.
Okie doke.
Could I get a selection of berries? Preferably, have you got any cherries on you?
Dried ones or fresh?
Either.
We have fresh. I can go for a good pound of cherries for... Yeah... I'd say 50 silver pieces. Cherries are fairly easy to come by. It's the season for them.
Fair.
Dried ones, we haven't really had much of a chance to make those, so unfortunately I'd have to say a pound of those would be 7 gold pieces.
That's fair. That's workable. Let's go for the 2 of the fresh ones. Blackberries.
What did I say, 50 silver pieces?
Yes.
Okay. That would be 10 GP.
Yes, it would. I will take one of the. No, I'll take the dried because actually I can use the dried a lot more than I can.
Okay, so that makes that 14 GP total. For that, cherries, for the dried ones. Or are you only going to take 1 rather than 2?
Just one of the dried ones then.
Okay.
I was thinking 5 silver pieces.
Yeah, my brain did
the
this. My brain did the same
Yeah.
thing where it converted it wrong, and I was like, wait, no, 50 silver
Wait,
pieces.
yeah.
Yeah.
Happens.
So actually, no, yeah, it would be 5 silver pieces. Yeah. So you can have the fresh ones for 2, 5 lots of silver pieces each. Sorry.
Oh, well then, in which case, yeah.
Yeah, that was my bad.
That.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, hold on, recalculate all of this. It's fine. What else would you like? We have strawberries, gooseberries, cranberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries.
Strawberries.
Strawberries, fresh or dried?
We'll go dried on the strawberries. It intensifies the flavor quite a bit.
Might I ask what you're making?
Alcohols and varying states. Mainly focusing on mead at the moment. Mead and fruit wine.
Ah, I see. Well, I definitely recommend this type of strawberry then, and she reaches over and she pulls up a smaller box, which seems to have... They're larger dried strawberries than the other ones that she's got there, and they seem to be a slightly lighter colour. I could do these for, say... After the dried ones, I could probably do them for 10 gold pieces for a pound.
That's quite hefty. What's
If you wanted half a pound, I could also do that.
what's special about them?
Oh, they come from the Glasslands. To the east, the lower part of the empire, just before you get to the Elven Kingdoms. Elsyan, if you want to do a history check for this, you'd probably know what the Glasslands are, but we'll see.
Just double check.
Glasslands are a series of sandy areas. I'll just point it out on the globe real quick. Okay, so it's this side of the globe. If you're looking at it from the corner of the table inwards, you see the Empire. You see where there is that... I don't know whether you can see my hand very well on this.
Yeah. Roughly.
Okay. You see where there are those 3 cities and then there's that cove?
Yeah.
Like a small point, and then it sticks out a bit. The area just next to, or on the lower right of the city, is the Glasslands. And that used to be part of the Elven Kingdom's territory before before everything was divided up equally. And the Glasslands is where they grow all manner of crops. But some of them rather famous for what they're made. You've got things like glassberries. You've got what would be described as glass trees. They're a particular type of trees and fruits and vegetables, and they have like a kind of like a shiny surface to them, which is made of some form of like very thin gel. But when dried, the gel seeps into the inside of it and it bolsters the flavour. You know that this is generally made in the very top expensive levels of elven wine. The stuff that would go for around about 5,000 gold pieces.
Oh, so they're
If-
good. So the
If
stuff
done
that's worth
correctly.
taking.
But to distill that sort of thing would take a lot of experience and a lot of know-how to make those sorts of wines, and generally they'd spend an elven lifetime of maybe 200 years to age as well.
Mm.
But the bottles would generally go for around about 5,000 gold pieces. Your family would have owned a few in their time. Just as a little bit of worth, where the higher families and the king of the elven lands would have owned probably pastures within the glass lands.
Mm.
And generally things that come from there have a very potent, very distinguishable and unique flavour that, if done correctly, can result in a lot of cash over a long portion of time.
Well, my. I will gladly take these.
This is all down to whether Elsyan has told you this. He just knows this. You
And
don't know what they are
I-
unless you want to do a history check.
I'm happy to do that, but like, because like this is alcohol related.
Yes.
This is my jam.
You're more focused on beers and meads, whereas this is more of a
But
wine
he has in the
focus.
past.
But you have a past brewery experience, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And it's part of the Empire.
Does also past mention that his family did start going into wines before
Yeah.
Bhold.
So this would have been maybe a look into. So go ahead. So history check plus
Let's say -1.
-1.
But it's still an 18.
Yeah, it's still an 18. So you know that that this sort of thing, it isn't immediately noticeable, but you look at it and you think, we've looked into this sort of thing before when we were looking into wines. It comes from, if you remember correctly, the glasslands. Mulling through your head, you go through things like the grasslands, the glass fields. No, the glasslands.
The
Series,
glass.
a series of a series of land, of fields, and other places where there's got trees and vineyards of special fruits and vegetables and other tree types and so on that grow there. And the stuff that grows there is very potent, very flavoursome. It's also rather expensive for the most part. You're getting a decent deal, but the strawberries are a lot more difficult to work with. So you would know that this sort of thing, to properly use these, you would need high quality brewing equipment, plus you would need to know exactly what you're doing, or the flavour is going to be lost and put to waste. And it's going to be like buying regular strawberries. Which you could buy regular strawberries for, say, 1 gold piece a pound. You're currently paying 10 gold pieces a pound, which is 10 times the amount.
Yeah, so it's not worth it in my mind.
Yeah, and this sort of thing you would be using, I don't know how much you would use in alcohol, depending on what your mix would be. You'd probably get through, if you're using it at fair rate, you'd probably get through a pound of dried strawberries, probably after about 5 to 10 bottles, depending on how you do.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't get too far. And we're looking at like beer bottles, not wine bottles.
But
And
if I were
that's-
to get one wine bottle and then
that's what-
convince someone it was a proper one. I never said I was a good person. I'm just here to win back, to like make my brewery and kill a dragon.
It's fine.
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
but
So
no, I'm not going to grab this. It's not worth it at this point.
You're
But
not
I will
going to.
grab. No. I shouldn't. I'm just I'm trying to find new flavors. I'm not going to use such a high class ingredient right off the bat. But I shall keep you in mind, and when I next come round after my initial testing, I may take you up on that if you still have any
going.
Ah, good to know. So you just want regular strawberries then?
Just regular strawberries, yes.
£1?
1 pound. Do you have any chopped apple? Dried or dried is fine.
Dried apple? Yes, we have plenty. How much would you like? They are a little bit heavier than the other fruits. So
but
they're
they
a little
are a
bit
lot-
cheap, but they're a little bit cheaper, so you don't get as many segments. So you'd be looking at probably around about 4 silver pieces per pound.
I could go for that. 3 pounds of them.
£3 of dried apple. Got it.
I've got reason for this.
Okay.
It goes excellently.
I just heard it goes excellently. That's fine. I don't know
With
how...
honey, with honey.
With honey. Okay. Which you've got 2 jars of.
Yeah.
Spiced apple.
And then I'm gonna, with the spiced apple and a bit of cinnamon in there, that's gonna be good.
Anyway, is that everything,
Theoretically.
or did you want to buy other things? We've got jars as well. If you're making beers, so it's not so great, but you know, vials or jars might come in handy.
True. I will take... no, I think I'm good on those fronts, because I've got my brewer's supplies with me. But why don't you tell me about some of these spices I have here?
Did you buy a brewer's supplies?
I got... kind of sort of came with it, because I'm...
No, you
Because
only
of
have
mine.
proficiency with it.
Oh.
It's
Well,
the same
then
with
I'm
all the
buying
kits.
brewer's supplies somewhere.
It's with all the kits you have proficiency with, but you don't own them. You have to buy them.
Right.
So I
I'm
remember
going to
correctly,
be
there's something
buying
like 100 gold pieces for the kit.
Did you not have? Did you not have it from your background? Oh, no,
I've
Hermit.
got the herbal one for that one.
Yeah.
He got the herbal kit, but he didn't have the brewer's kit, which is 20
Really?
gold pieces. I was wrong.
20. Okay, that I can work with. That I can do.
Yeah. I've just looked at the prices of instruments now that I found them. Yeah, let's go with that. Sorry, Infernal. Infernal, you can update the weight of those war drums. They're £6 each, so 12 total.
Oh, okay. Not like it matters.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Well, you found the drums are just much heavier than you
Guys,
said they were.
we can still carry 890 more pounds. It's fine.
The drums in here are £3 weight. I was like, maybe I put it on the steep side. Let's just make it 6. They're war drums. They're big drums. Justifies buying 2 of them. There's 6 gold pieces in here, but that's fine. 65 gold pieces is
Now I
fine.
think about it, drums are literally just a tube of wood.
And a flute is 2 gold pieces, which is even better.
You know what? It's a fine elven flute, I'll have you know.
Fine. But still.
Oh god, I knew I really should have just started lower than that, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter.
That's a gamble, because if you go too low, then he might get offended.
Exactly.
So is that everything that I can do for you?
Well, let me have a look at these spices. These
Nothing you
ground-
haven't seen before, except for except for the extra berries, which are poisonous, from what you can see.
Yes. I can't help but notice the poisonous berries. Any use for them, do you think, in my work?
If you've got a taste for assassination,
I don't, but, well, it's a fair idea, so...
or if you're going for a particularly strong one, just let's say dry one of these berries, ground it, maybe have a small pinch of this inside someone's liquor, and you've got yourself a very strong flavour. Or you could go for a little bit of nightshade and then watch them as they throw up their innards for an hour. That's always fun.
Yes, that sounds, well, useful, but not useful for me in my current endeavor. But, thank you for the information. I may use it I may come back in the future.
Well,
Now-
you know where to find me.
Yes, as it stands, how much will that come?
That comes to... Do you want to convert some of the silver pieces into gold pieces straight away?
Might as well. Might as well.
Okay. So that will come to 6, 7, 8, 9... 9 gold pieces and 2 silver pieces, please.
Right. Give me a second to work out that math. 2,
You break a gold piece down into 10 silver pieces, so that'll be 8
I've
silver
already
pieces left.
I've already got some silver pieces on me.
Oh, okay. It's fine then.
Yeah. So yeah, I pass over.
It was 9 too. Okay. Thank you very much. And she puts it all in a bag and passes it to you. You promptly put it into the sack, which you've also been carrying with you, full of the other supplies you've got. You've racked up a fair few supplies here.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna hold me for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm going to grab my brewer supplies tomorrow after I've won. After betting on, I'm not gonna win. I'm gonna lose after betting. Let's do it. Fucking do it. Going back to the tavern.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna lose some money.
Are you all heading straight for the tavern now? At this point, we can say after all the events that have transpired, we can say it's maybe 3:30. Getting back to the tavern, if
Yeah,
you dawdle, will
it'll
take
be-
you to 4.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
be heading back.
to the tavern.
You head back to the tavern. You make your way in. It's the same as before. Not as busy. The table you were at, the chairs have been put back up on the table. And the barkeep looks over and goes, "Ah, good to see you back. Do you mind if I talk to you a quick sec?"
Who's he talking to? All of us?
All of you at this point.
I don't mind.
No worries.
Ah, good.
What do you want to say?
He leans over onto the edge of the bar. Do you guys go up to the bar, or are you currently standing in the middle of the bar?
I'm going to the...
Yeah, we'll go up to
Now, I heard yesterday that one of you, glancing over at Bhold, who's currently carrying his war drums still, nice and tight. I heard that you made yourselves well known in the pit. Is that correct?
I would say that my client and I, as his manager, may have done such a thing.
Good to hear. And I gave you your membership.
Mhm. Why do you ask?
Word travels fast, and
I'm just sensing there's something coming up here.
you can insight check him now if you want. If anyone wants to insight check him now while he's fumbling around picking his words, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah.
Infernal's just like, I trust everyone. It's fine.
That was me. That was me.
That is a 22.
No, Infernal's just choosing not to roll, so he's an automatic. He doesn't.
That's true.
But I get a 22.
22. There's something on his mind which he's kind of a little bit worried to say out loud at the moment, as if he's debating trusting you.
Look, whatever it is, tell me. Promise I won't judge. Just say what it is. We'll see what we can do. Whisper it in me ear.
He leans over and he whispers, "Whichever one of you is carrying it, put it onto the table, but cover it with your hand." And then leans back and just kind of looks at each of you, his eyes dart between you, and just goes back to cleaning a mug.
Wait, when he says it, does he mean the membership or the coin?
I can't tell. Can I say
Why don't we just
something
do
about
both?
what he's...
A bit too dark.
Quick. Right. I'm going to try and use my thaumaturgy. Oh no, that's an awful idea. I'd have to roll for that. Actually, wait.
No, thaumaturgy's automatic.
Thaumaturgy's not, yeah. It's not
It depends on what you're trying to
Okay.
do. If it's against an
Okay.
individual, then it's going to require a...
Yeah, it's not against an individual. It's sort of like I'm trying to have like whisper subtly into his ear. Do you mean the membership? Like subtly using my thaumaturgy because I can make noises with it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like use that to whisper in his ear without looking like I'm whispering in his ear.
As he does, as you do this, quick roll. He looks at you as if no, not that, the other
you
thing.
mean- And then like coin.
Right, I'm gonna...
I coin back. I send it back to him with thaumaturgy coin.
Right, I'm gonna take out the
And
coin.
at this point, he nods ever so slightly.
Yep. Barkeep, I'd like to buy some wine.
I'll get it for you straight away, of course. And he reaches over and he grabs a bottle of wine and he pours it into a mug, into the mug he was just cleaning, and he places it on the bar in front of you, and he puts out his hand.
Elsyan's just going to scoff at this. Wine in a mug. Ugh.
Okay, I'm gonna
Right,
pay
I'm
the
gonna
man,
pass-
but no,
yeah.
but okay, no, I said why?
Are you saying that to him, or?
I'm saying thank you for the why. I'm being very unsubtle.
Oh, I see. I get it now. I had to roll for that. I was like, wait, what do you mean wine? Of course it's wine. Oh, I see. Yeah, do a deception, I guess. Yeah, that'll do. He rolled.
Fuck it, it'll do.
Oh,
Why am I the one doing this?
apologies. Oh, something came for you, by the way. And he turns around and he like pulls up a letter. He's like,
Hmm.
I don't know if it's for you though. It's got your name on it, but I need verification.
Ah, well, that makes more sense. Right, at this point I'm gonna take the coin out of my coat.
Put your hand over it.
Yeah. Yeah, being careful not to show it to anyone. To make sure that no one else can see it. I'm gonna...
Yeah. At this point, there are very few people in the bar.
Mm.
If anyone wants to roll a perception check at this point, you're welcome to do so. You place your hand down on the bar with your hand over the
Elsyan's not
top.
Talking, he will.
Elsyan, you notice that there is no one in the bar currently paying attention. It's like nobody cares. There's like 2 people in the bar, and they're currently sat over in the corner, and they're currently just rolling dice, and they seem to be having the worst or the most boring day of their life that they've ever had. And they're just there rolling dice over and over. But other than that, there's nobody else in the bar who's currently looking around.
Mm-hmm.
And so you place... give me a sleight of hand as well, Simon.
Yes.
It's just a minor check. What is
Oh,
that?
Oh no.
Oh no. My sleight of hand... That's +2, so 5 total.
Okay. You pull the coin out of your pocket, place it on the table. You lift your hand slightly. That's a gold coin. Put it back in your pocket. You rummage around a little bit more. Pull out the coin. Put it on the table. Lift it up. That's the coin. Okay, so do you show him?
Yeah, I'll lift my hand so you can see it.
Okay. You lift your hand, and he looks at it. He nods. Ah, this is for you then. And he places the letter down on the table, and he says, "That'll be 4 gold pieces for the wine, please."
Elsyan, why don't you enjoy it? Now, at this point, I'm trying to fake hint that this is important that he buys this. But really, what I'm doing
Deception
is trying
check.
to get him to just
And sir, please
so
make
that
an
he
insight
pays
check.
for it. Oh no!
Oh no, indeed.
Well, Smashfist, I think you would really enjoy this wine.
Considering it's in a fucking mug, you heathen. Yeah, about right.
Yes.
Few more swear words in there. Thought so.
You fucking heathen. Sorry, that was in my normal voice. Oh, you fucking heathen.
Oh, fine. I hand over the gold pieces because
You had over 4 gold pieces.
it's not like I'm hurting for it, honestly.
I don't know how much gold you're on, but I'm slowly whittling you down. Eventually I'll get to that point where you can't buy the brewer's kit, and I'll be so happy.
Someday.
So someday there'll come a
Someday.
point where I can do it, and you'll be one gold piece off, and I'll be happy that I managed it.
Yeah.
This effort will not have gone to waste.
Then you're gonna want me to go fight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want you to go fight now.
Okay, you put down the 4 gold pieces. He picks up the 4 gold. He says, "Enjoy the drink," and he turns around and he goes to pick up another mug and starts cleaning it. He's just walked away at this point. He doesn't care. He's seen what he needs to see.
I am gonna drink the wine, and I'm going to
Okay.
see what I can't detect if it's, first of all, is it a good wine? Second of all, how could I improve such a wine? I'm basically doing the whole brewer's.
So you're doing you're basically doing an investigation to see if you can make it better.
More of like I'm determining how this wine was made roughly.
Okay, give me a roll.
This is gonna be like a 3. Oh, so close.
Next to a
Oh,
3. Yeah. It was made over time. It's a cheap wine. It's nothing special. You've tasted better in your lifetime by far. It's like something that it's watered down a little bit. Doesn't taste too great.
I could probably make better. is
You
what I'm
could
thinking,
make
right?
this out of fresh cherries and just squeeze it between your hands, add a little bit of water and distill a little bit of alcohol, and you got this. This is effectively what you would feed to the masses who want to seem posh.
Yeah. Elsyan, this seems right up your street. Oh yeah.
Oh, how do you
Really?
know I am posh? I don't simply see this.
You don't know that. You don't know that shit. You just
Give
you just
me
know it's
a
wine.
investigation check.
Fuck!
You do
Still a
not. It looks
It's still
like
a 9.
it's still a 9.
Wait. Yes, it's still a 9.
Can I roll a deception on him for that then?
You can roll a deception. Yes,
That's-
I'm just
please
going to
don't.
explain what Elsyan sees. Elsyan looks at the wine, and the wine, it's a little bit off colour to what you're used to. You've seen many colours in your time, but it looks thin. It looks weak. It looks like it's weird stuff. It doesn't look appetizing. But Sasha's very convincing.
Yeah, Sasha may be convincing, but shit wine is still shit wine.
Basically, can I
I've got
convince
refined tastes, I'll have you know.
Chris? Have I convinced Elsyan to try to taste the wine?
If he gives me an insight check, actually no, just give me a straight roll. And I'm going to apply a DC to this. I'll tell you if you beat it or not. Which you do not.
What? What?
You look at this wine and you think, it's at least worth a try.
It is not worth a try.
I'm looking, Alright, pass it here, Smashfist. Just looking at him, just squinted eyed.
Oh, I can't do it. It's alcohol. It's awful. It's awful. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, it's awful.
It's too late!
No, don't do it. No.
Taking
No.
a sip,
I
a
take
chug.
a sip. I'm taking a sip because I was suspicious from the start.
Okay, you take a sip.
I'm gonna spit it out. Oh, that tastes like
Yeah.
vinegar. What's wrong with you, Smashfest?
Effectively, yeah.
I told you it were a fucking joke because I was trying to mess with you, but I didn't actually want you to drink it, you bastard. It tastes like piss wasser.
You know what this is worse than? This is worse than the shit from the sewer.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw. Harlan.
Who?
Harlan, please roll me a wisdom saving throw. It is
Oh,
destined
Harlan
to
had
be.
a PhD.
It is
Dear.
destined to be. Still not enough.
I've got 21.
Doesn't matter. I rolled a nat 20 on intimidation
Oh,
check
wait.
from the barkeep. He looks at you. You looked and turned to him. Those eyes. You recognize them. They look the same.
Wait, guys, it's the barkeep, the High Marshal.
No, you think they are. They're petrifying. They are piercing stares. And you feel
Well, I
the
mean to
force
say
of
this is a delightful
impalement.
Wine. I'm going to drink it all down right now. I proceed to chug the wine and make the most appreciative noise in existence.
Okay, give me a performance check.
This is funny either way.
Okay, let's roll for the barkeep. Yeah, he looks at you. He raises one eyebrow and then turns his head and goes back to cleaning a mug facing away from you. At which point you feel a heavy burden off of your chest just disappear.
Jesus. So, what have we learnt today, kiddies? Don't fuck with bark.
That's what you've learned.
Yes, that's right. You've never learnt a damn thing in your entire life.
I've learned that you are really not to be trusted. I should have learned that earlier.
Warn you.
It was too bloody late. I was already taking a sip.
Behold, are you doing anything at this point, or are you just...
Looking at my drums.
You're just looking at your drums, you're perplexed by them.
Right.
I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw. Infernal.
Me?
Yep. Versus the temptation of the drums. What's your wisdom saving throw? Whoa.
1 sec. It is 1.
1, okay. That's a 10. Attempting. Maybe in the safety of your room you'll play the drums.
Yeah, not like the whole tavern will hear them. It's fine.
Wait, question. What was that guy's... what was the barkeep's charisma?
What was the barkeep's charisma? You got a nat 20.
Fuck.
Tough shit.
We'll have to try.
If anything, he's a barkeep, so he knows how to make good deals. So I'd say his charisma is at least 15. So even then, on a nat 20, he'd still win.
Actually, well, okay. If he didn't have any bonuses for that, that's only a bonus of 2. So, and if since that was my saving throw on my against my wisdom, I would have won that.
True, but it's nat 20. So.
But it's a nat 20, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do about it. But
Still.
I've got my pride, is what I've got.
You got your pride knowing that only certain types of people can petrify you with piercing gazes.
It's only people who roll 20s.
The High
Literally.
Marshal and the High Marshal and the barkeeper.
What is it about people in this city? Jesus.
Only the ones who you tried to diss.
I didn't try to diss this one.
Of course. Anyway.
I just sort of did.
There's a letter on the table. You two are currently messing about with wine.
Yeah, Queglod, you're the serious one here.
Yeah, so have you made sure that I've taken back the coin?
Yep.
I
Okay.
don't know if we did that.
Yeah, the coin's still under your hand.
Yeah, okay.
It's exactly the same.
I'm going to put that back where it was. Right, I'm going to pick up the letter.
Okay.
Right, and be like, okay. If you two are quite finished,
It's just
go
a
and read through this.
it's just a piece of folded paper with a bit of string wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling that Simon is going to be saying that every session to you and me, Harlan?
Pretty much.
Squabbling
You said
kids
it last
and
time.
grandmother.
Oh,
You
did
said
I?
it last-
This is
yes.
the exact same thing.
Yeah, you did.
If you two are quite finished.
This is going to be a catchphrase. Okay, that's fine. Right. Well then. I'm going to take a read through this, if you'd care to join me.
Yes.
And with that,
I
I'm
am
just going to
gonna
walk
have
off
to
to
go
one of
off.
the seats. Just going to walk off to find a table.
Okay. You go over to one of the corner tables over on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
You take your seat. The rest of you follow. Behold, what are you currently doing? Are you joining them, or are you going to your room to play drums?
Where are they going?
They're going to a corner table to read the letter.
Uh,
Someone else is reading it. You don't have to do any reading.
I'll just slowly walk over there.
You'll make your way over to the corner table. You sit down, and you proceed to unwrap the letter. You unwrap the letter, and then inside, it's written in a language you can't read, Simon.
Okay, can I try and recognize what language it is? Or at the very least what script it is?
Yep.
Please don't be
Give me a roll.
Please, for the love of God, don't be Goliath.
Don't be good.
Yeah,
Oh, Goliath is giant.
yeah, I
Okay,
did it.
you know immediately that this is Thieves' Cant. And from experience, you've learnt to decipher this previously. You know
Okay.
the general gist of this. It isn't something you're too well versed in, so there may be slip-ups, there may be times when you look at this and you go, well, that doesn't make sense. But all the same, there are pieces here which you can just about make out. Just get to the languages table. Just gotta make sure. What script is Thieves' Cant?
It's actually a
Yeah, I thought that Fierce Camp was...
it's Braille essentially.
Oh, okay. So it's all on its own. It's not anything that anybody else can just read.
Yeah, because it's hand signals usually.
Thieves' Cant
Yeah.
was something on... Yeah, it was a writing. It was kind of... I don't know. Either way. I can't find the languages, unfortunately, because they're annoyingly difficult to find in the player's handbook. Actually, it's probably under character descriptions. Look at that. Thieves' Cant is not on there, so yeah, it would be a unique language on its own. So, as you begin to look through the Thieves' Cant thing, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. You notice it mentions word of passage to the Undercity. And word of something known as the Phoenix. You seem to, from what you can gather from all this, there's something mentioned about speaking to a barkeep somewhere in town, currently under the tavern name of the Brass Cask. You would have received the letter from this individual, and that there is a passageway that he can lead you to from the pit itself. However, to earn authority to enter, you're going to need to win a rigged fight.
Ah!
I see.
Question. What if we were to, rather than win the rigged fight, sorry, I'm not doing that in character. Our character. What if we were to, say, discern that it was a rigged fight, and then reveal this?
I don't know.
Find out next time on...
You also see, amongst all of this at the bottom, in common that you can understand, presumably what you are supposed to be able to read, it says, I am the shadow you are looking for. Seek me where the phoenix flies. And then the rest of it that's in Thieves' Cant above that you could just about make out. And that is where we will finish up.
Okay.
Okay.
Our adventurers have travelled far and wide, buying instruments at extraordinarily high prices, and purchasing what goods they could for their brewing experience, while the rest of the party looked on and watched everything take
Was
place.
mildly confused.
Exactly. And proceeded to recollect all of their information that they know and have now been contacted by their shadow they were told to seek. As the sun passes passes by, getting closer to dusk in the end of the day, the party waits, knowing full well that they now have to compete in some form of a fight, something which they may or may not be rigged against them. All the same, if they succeed, they will get the person they are looking for. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one, which is next week. Question mark, everyone.
Yep, should be.
Yeah, should be.
Next
Yeah,
one?
should be back
Yes.
for that.
Any problems, Infernal?
Nope, don't think so.
Alright, cool. Alright, cool. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.